my name is Caitlin Wall, and I'm doing my head to toe assessment today. So first thing I would do is wash my hands and provide privacy. Hello, my name is Caitlin. I'll be your nurse today. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Christian Wall, November 25th, 2002.
Awesome. I'm going to be doing an assessment of you today. Could I get you to answer a few questions for me? Okay, so where are we right now?
Hospital for a checkup.
Awesome. And then what is the month and the year?
April 2020.
Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to check his eyes and make sure that his pupils are equal in size and make sure there's no redness or drooping or any other issues. And then can I have you stare at this for me? And I'm going to check his cardinal gazes. Alright, and that's good. And then I'm going to check his accommodation. I'm going to just stare at this. And I did not note any nystagmus at this time. And then I'm going to check his constriction of his pupils. Polite. Stare at something in the distance, please. And that was normal as well. And then I am going to feel his pulses. And I would do this on both sides to make sure that they're the same. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to do it on one side. So we have the temporal. And then we have the carotid, and you would never ever do these at the same time because that can be bad and it can hurt your patient. And so that's good and strong. And I also want him to lift his neck up to look for any jugular vein distension, which can indicate congestive or heart failure. And then I am going to auscultate his carotid. And can you hold your breath while I do this, please? All right, so I did not hear any swishing, which would indicate a bruise, so that is good. And then I am going to feel his brachial pulse. And that's good. And then his radial. And then his ulnar. And then the femoral is in the groin, and I would do that in real life. And then I'm going to do the popliteal, which is behind the knee. And then I'm going to do the posterior tibular, which is right here. And then the dorsalis pedis, which is right there. And then I'm going to check his cap refill. And it's less than 3 seconds, so it's good. And his skin is pink and warm to the touch. And then I'm going to check his reflexes. So we're going to start by doing the tricep reflex. So that one looks good. And the can you flex your bicep? And then, so that looks good. And then we're going to do the patella reflex. Okay, and then just relax. Okay, try to relax. There we go. And then I'm going to do your Achilles reflex. Okay, let's try to relax. There we go. And then I am going to make sure to monitor them if they're on magnesium sulfate to check their reflexes often to make sure they're not hyperactive or hypoactive. And they were all +2, so they weren't too reactive, so that's good. Then I'm going to auscultate his lungs. Okay, can you breathe for me? And I'm comparing both sides to each other. Okay, so they sound equal bilaterally, and then I'm going to palpate and feel for any tactile tremendous, and I do not feel any. And then we're going to percuss for resonance. And that sounds good as well. And then I am going to listen for the heart sounds. So I am going to go to the second intercostal space on the right side to listen to the aortic. And then I go on the second intercostal space on the left-hand side to listen to the pulmonic. And then I go to the third intercostal space on the sternal border on the left to listen to Erb's point. And then I go to the left sternal border to listen to the tricuspid. And then I go to the mid-sternal fifth intercostal to listen to the mitral. And that all sounds good. So then I am going to listen to the back as well now. Can you breathe for me? And I'm going to be comparing them bilaterally. And then I'm going to listen to his middle lobe. And then I'm going to compare that to the left side. And then I'm going to listen to make sure there's no consolidation here if I'm concerned about that. Can you say E?
E.
So I do not hear, I did the egonophy there. And then can you say 99?
99.
And I've just performed the bronchoscopy, and that was normal as well. And then can you whisper numbers 1 through 5? And that was the whispered ventriloquy, and that sounded good as well. So then I'm going to have him lay down, and I'm going to do the Babinski with my brush, and we're just going to do an upside down J. And a normal reaction would be for the toes to curl a little bit. If they flex out, that is a positive Babinski, which is bad in people over the age of 2, because it indicates there is a upper motor neuron issue going on there. And then I want you to push against my hands. Good, they're strong and equal. And then pull against. Good, strong, equal. And then can you hold my hands? Squeeze as hard as you can. Perfect, strong and equal as well. All right. Are you having any pain in your abdomen, or have you had any surgeries or anything like that?
No.
Have you been sensitive to light lately or had a headache?
No.
No? Okay, perfect. Then I'm just going to lift your head up to your chest. Do you feel any pain in your neck?
No.
All right, so the nuchal rigidity was negative, and then his knees didn't come up, so the Brudzinski's was negative as well, which would be an indicator for appendicitis if it was positive. And then I'm going to inspect his breathing. Can you breathe for me? And his diaphragmatic excursion is good, and his respiration rate and pattern has been good as well, so I'm not concerned about that. And then I'm going to go to his stomach, and I'm just going to look, and everything looks normal, and I would look for any pulsations because that could signify an aortic aneurysm. And then I'm going to listen, starting in the right lower quadrant. And you listen for 30 seconds in each quadrant, and then you listen for 5 minutes if you do not hear anything in those 30 seconds. And you do that all quadrants. And then I am going to percuss, and we're going to be listening for tympani. So, and I'm going to percuss in every quadrant. All Alright, that sounds good. And then next I'm going to palpate gently, and I'm going to note his face to see if there's any discomfort while I'm doing this. Alright, everything felt okay when I did that? And then I'm going to go under his right rib cage. Do you feel any pain in your right upper quadrant? No, because that would be an indicator if his gallbladder or his liver was inflamed. And then I'm going to push in the left lower quadrant. Do you feel any pain over here?
No.
No? Okay. So that was negative, and that's an indicator for appendicitis. And then I'm going to have him do the ileostomus test. Can you pull your knee up against my hand? Does that hurt over there again? No? Okay, perfect. So that was negative, which is an indicator for appendicitis as well. And then can you turn on your side? And then I'm going to bring his knee up, and this is the osteopus test. And flex it. Do you feel any pain in the right lower quadrant?
No.
Perfect, because that is negative as well, which is a test for appendicitis as well.